Welcome back to Uncanny. This is number episode 2. And this episode we're going to go over X-Men 45 and one issue Avengers 453. I'll explain why when I get up to it. First up, issue 45. Yes, this does happen. Cyclops does face off against Quicksilver. Yep. Issue starts off with Cyclops trying to get free from his restraints, which he does. Then he starts wandering around Magneto's headquarters, sees Jean's unconscious, and he tries to get her out. Like one of the X-Men has escaped, so he's trying to find a way to. He looks for the other X-Men, and Toad spots him. So Toad goes to tell Magneto what's going on. Of course, we have the whole flashback what happened with Red Raven in the previous issue. Of course, Warren is going to get the Avengers. And then, of course, Quicksilver spots Cyclops. Somehow he's escaped. And it turns to a fight scene. Yep, Cyclops and Quicksilver start a fight. And, of course, Toad tells Magneto about it. And, of course, Magneto, acting dickish as he usually does, he basically says, "Oh, you failed me for the last time." And he just attacks him, and he basically, despite how loyal Toad is, Magneto abuses him. Yep. And of course, knocked down unconscious, and of course he turns out his little machine. After they have the brief scuffle, they talk for a bit, and then somehow Xavier gets in contact with Cyclops, and then something about blasphemy, and Quicksilver gets into another fight with Cyclops, and he tells him that that Cyclops said the other 3 X-Men are still there, and of course one erupts in Warren is out doing something else. Yep. And of course they still fight. They fight for most of the issue, and then of course the issue ends with one of the most jaw-dropping cliffhangers that anybody who was reading the comics at the time basically would be jaw-dropping. It's like, what? Basically, after knocking him unconscious, and someone says, or you will be wearing bandages on something instead of those nutty 3D glasses, and Cyclops turns around, and it's the Avengers. Though the members at this point are just Goliath, Wasp, Hawkeye, and Black Panther. Now, some of you are thinking, wait a minute, where's Thor? Where's Iron Man? Where's Captain America? Where's the rest of the Avengers? Well, even though Quicksilver's going to quit at this point, Captain America and Iron Man took leaves of absence from the team, and Thor is off doing whatever the heck he wants to do. And then we cut away to, then we continue with the part 2 of the Iceman backup feature, where Cyclops is trying to get Iceman out of jail. Well, Bobby out of jail, he's not Iceman yet. Then he gets him out of jail, and they get into a brief fight, and then, of course, the whole town gets after them. And they just rush right out. They go out to the docks, and then that part ends with one of the guys basically says if he moves, he'll blow his head off with the gun. He points a gun in his head. Okay. And next, we turn over to Avengers 53. Yep, my first issue of Avengers will be reviewed on my channel, where it's Avengers vs. X-Men. Even though people have heard that title before, a few years ago with Avengers vs. X-Men crossover, this was the second time they were fought each other. Though, the first time because they were asked to fight, and this time they're on the mind control. Yep. And of course, the issue picks up right where Uncanny X-Men 45 leaves off. And of course, the Avengers briefly fight Cyclops. And of course, then we flash back to basically what happened prior to that. Basically, of Warren running into a parachuter, and then he goes to the Avengers mansion, tells them what's going on. They fight him for a bit, and then they just fly away. And then they take a Quinjet over to Magneto's island. And then somehow Magneto knew that the Avengers would come, that he would do this. Take the bait. And of course, he still abuses him. Even Wanda basically is upset with the frequent abuse that Magneto's giving him. Now, normally any other writer probably would not write Magneto to be so abusive toward Toad. Not even Stan Lee wrote him like this. Or even Roy Thomas. Of course, Roy Thomas didn't have Magneto during his whole run. Yep. And of course, the Avengers sort of briefly fight each other. And then it turns and then, well, of course, Magneto just doing his famous monologuing. Yeah, he's a great speaker. And of course, somehow he brainwashes, well, 4 of the 5 X-Men to attack the Avengers. Yep, attacks the Avengers, and of course they get to a brief fight. And the fight lasts for a good several pages. And of course, well, the tide is turned toward the Avengers. Now, this issue is written by Roy Thomas. This is the first time Roy Thomas have written Magneto, and yeah, he's trying to be more abusive than Stan Lee ever did. And of course, they try to get away, and somehow the Avengers break through, and of course, they try to use the Magneto powers on them. And of course, Toad has enough. Of course, they get away, and of course, they get onto their special ship. And then Toad does something completely out of the blue. They somehow they built this spaceship out of plastic, which is weird. It's made of like non-metals, and in this particular scene causes, and of course Magneto trying helping. Of course, his Magneto powers are working. It's made out of non-metals, so Toad has had enough of Magneto. Stomps his hand and he falls right in the ocean. Yep, falls right in the ocean, and that's the last time anybody sees Magneto for a little while. I think at this point, this is the last people see Magneto for about 2 years, maybe, at most. I don't know. It's a possibility. But Magneto's dead. Yep. So, what do I think of these 2 issues? Very good action-packed issues. Finally wraps up that Magneto storyline. I think the reason why Magneto was brought back at this point because he had not been seen for a little while. I think at this point he'd been gone for about 2 years. So it was nice to bring him back for a 4-parter. Hooray! So, I give both these 2 issues a 9 out of 10. Really awesome issues. So, that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for the next episode, which is episode 23. And the next episode, I'm going over issues 46 to 48 of Uncanny X-Men. Till then, see you there. Bye.